Our final question to you is, what are your most important goals if you are elected to City Council? And this time we will start with Ms. King.
Well, the first thing on my agenda will be to reinstate curbside recycling. I think it's important for citizens to participate in protecting the environment, and that is a huge issue for me. I'm really concerned about not having mental health beds in this city. As a psychiatrist, I know that there are people every day in the city who need acute care, and we do not have a single mental health bed for people who suffer from mental illness or chemical dependency. And as it is, they wait in the emergency room for days waiting for a bed to be treated in another city. And I think in 2024, with the mental health needs that we have, that is completely unacceptable. The city growth that we talked about earlier, that's a big priority for me because it doesn't affect our quality of life, our schools, education, infrastructure, just quality of life issues in general. And I'm concerned about the property taxes because I see how it is strangling our citizens, and I think we have to find a solution to the personal property tax issues that we face. Thank you.
Thank you. And Mrs. Naparella.
Thank you. As a teacher, I boiled my platform down to its essential three, the ABCs. A would be affordable housing. We have people, working class people are getting priced out of Chesapeake. If we want to remain viable, if we want to encourage business, we have to have people to perform work. We don't want to have people coming in constantly when we can cultivate that community here in Chesapeake. The B, borough representation. To me, my commitment is 100% to my position on City Council, but I still feel concerned about my ability to serve all 250,000 people. And three, collective bargaining. This might be an issue for a couple generations from now, but the economy, when Zenith moved to Mexico, that economy got taken over because of our presence, and the folks' quality of life was driven down. With Greenlink coming into Chesapeake, thank you.
Councilwoman Ritter.
Thank you. My priorities are the priorities I hear from our citizens. They want a safe city. They want their children and grandchildren educated well. They want to have financial stability, and they want their city to have financial stability. And fourth, for me, is the preservation of agricultural and open space land. It's critical to the character of our city. It's something that people cherish about the city. So grow where we can support the development with infrastructure, make sure we preserve agriculture in our open space, and be sure we listen carefully to what people in the city want. That's how you set priorities. The vision doesn't come from that dais. A vision should always come from the citizens. Thank you.
And Mr. Staples.
Okay, my first priority that I want to talk about is schools. Again, we don't have enough of them, and it's getting worse all the time. We got to get a school program on target there to improve this condition. Also, redevelopment. We can redevelop a lot of areas and get affordable housing. I was at one council meeting where it was suggested that $380,000 townhomes were affordable. That's ridiculous. Another way we can help out the people that live in one area and the jobs are in another area is by increasing our transit capabilities. Right now we have double the unemployment rate in one area than the other, and there's no way for the people to ride the bus to get to a job. That's ridiculous in our city. Thank you.
Mayor West.
I've been fortunate enough to visit regions through the Chamber of Commerce like in Charleston, and Charlotte, Denver, and that have been very successful in creating an environment that provides quality of life for their citizens, and they did it through economic development. So my dream is economic development. We already have a wonderful program. We have more international companies than any other city in Hampton Roads. We have growing businesses every day. Green League underwater cable just came to bring jobs and money. Economic development opportunity that we have in southern Chesapeake called Williams Farm, coastal Virginia. I've seen the return on investment. It will bring swimming pools. It will help us replace roads. It'll take care of many of the needs that we're talking about now that we don't want our taxpayers to pay for. So economic development.
Mr. Ray.
I'm certainly echo the mayor's comments, so he just took my time so much time. But great question, I'm glad you asked that. One of the things that I want to look at is I covered one. I want to look at pretty much the shopping centers. I want to look at the zoning for mixed use. I also want to take a look at the streamlining process for businesses as they come into the city for their processing time, for when the time gets to the planning department, as the time when it gets to construction. So I want to streamline that. The last thing, and this is the first time I've heard this, if you hear this again, it came from me. I hope the recorder's on. I want to have a partnership with Hampton University. 106,000 men die of prostate cancer every year. And the only proton therapy center is over in Hampton. We have a lot of people. Cancer is not a black or white thing. It's not a Republican or Democrat thing. It's a safety thing. And it's a real big issue. And I've already been in contact with Hampton University. So we want to take a look at this and doing something, because they have to go 44 days and have to go every single day. And going to Hampton fighting the traffic is abysmal. We should have that here in Chesapeake, and that's what I'm going to talk about.
And Councilman Carey.
So one of the reasons I ran for council is because I was tired of complaining. And since I've been on council, I've been on the front lines of workforce development. I've been on the front lines of working within the northern part of our city to bring solutions to the crime they're dealing with there. And I think that your mayor should have the ability to, number one, protect the gains made by previous generations of council and mayors, but also put your finger on the issues that your city is dealing with today, and adequately plan for answering those issues with solutions for tomorrow. And I have not seen that. I mentioned earlier, my priorities would be, number one, maintaining the gains we've had in public safety and education, but also working towards affordable housing within our city. We need to diversify the type of housing that we have to include that missing middle, the triplex, duplex, condos, townhomes. We're one of the worst cities in Hampton Roads for first-time home buyers. I want to make sure we move to equal. Thank you.
And Councilman Ike.
Good to be last. Greenbrier's an economic engine of our city. It provides so much revenue for the city that it's unmatched in the region. The Coastal Virginia Commerce Park, or the Williams Farms, 4,000 acres that we're rezoning for industrial and manufacturing. That's going to be the second economic engine of Hampton Roads. That will bring in a ton of revenue. That's what I want to do. I want to increase the amount of revenue from the commercial side, not the residential side. But this all boils down to a safe city. As a former police officer, and I'm sure Captain Jeffries will echo this, you can have the greatest restaurants, rec centers, schools, but if you're not safe, who wants to live here? We need to, and I have put forward a new pay plan for our police department, which stopped the people leaving our police department for other departments, and hopefully we'll increase our members in the police department up to full complement.
And Mr. Jeffries.
Yes, ma'am, thank you. I can tell you that for me it boils down honestly to three things. One, to the point that Mr. Rector's eloquently made, it doesn't matter how beautiful your businesses are, how nice your homes are, if you have to look over your shoulder when you're walking from the restaurant to the car, we failed you as a city. We have to continue to invest in our first responders. The leadership of this council brought forth the best pay plan in Hampton Roads, have stood behind it, have repeatedly continued the commitment to fund it, and I will obviously work towards that and support that going forward. Second, why do people come to Chesapeake? A, our safety record, but really the schools. We've got to invest in attracting the best teachers, the most qualified people, and retaining them. I think we need to address compression issues with the pay within the schools, and both of those missions are going to be accomplished in economic development. This city has got to be the place that businesses desire to come. We want a waiting